Hey everybody, this is Chris with Simple Tech. Welcome to this week's Simple Tech Tips, helping you take the stress out of IT. In this week's episode, we're going to be talking about the security and privacy pane inside your system preferences. This little pane here is pretty important to know, just so that way you can kind of set some basic things up on your Mac to increase the security, especially if you're running a small business and you want to make sure that your systems are a little more protected than just your casual home user. So if you're all set and sitting at your computer and ready to go, let's get started. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the security and privacy pane. If you don't know how to get there, you're gonna wanna go up to your Apple logo in the top left-hand corner. I don't know why I'm saying right-hand corner, or the system preferences down in your dock, and click on system preferences, and it is going to open this pane for you. And in the third row down, we got security and privacy, so we are gonna go ahead and go there and open it up. Now, there's 4 tabs in security and privacy. They're all pretty straightforward. You got general, FileVault, Firewall, and privacy. For the sake of this video, we're not going to go into the privacy tab too much. We'll probably do that as a second video because there is a lot of data in there and a lot of security things that you can adjust based upon specific individual applications and the access to the computer you want them to have, such as to your camera or to your microphone or to all of your files. So it is important to know, but there's just a lot of details that come into that. And so that's going to be a separate video for us. So let's talk a little bit about this general pane. It's pretty straightforward. The first line that you can see there is that you can go into here to do your login password and change your password for the users. You can also do that in users and groups, but it gives you another location in which you can do that. Now this second one, this checkbox, require password after so many minutes after sleep or screensaver begins. So this is an important one, especially for businesses. You know, if you tend to walk away from your computer a lot during the day and you got some secure or private information that's on that machine and you want to make sure people don't have access to it, adjusting your time here would be really, really important. So you can see mine's 5 minutes. You know, I do trust the people in my office, although sometimes I wonder if I should. But you know, it could be immediate, could be within 5 seconds of the computer going to sleep. Keep in mind, computer has to go to sleep. So that's another preference that we would have to look at to make sure the timeline of when the computer goes to sleep for that to kick in. This one here that you can see that's grayed out, it says show a message on the screen when it is locked. So when your screensaver does turn on, it locks the screen to where you have to re-enter your password or Touch ID to open it back up. Well, you could set a lock message on that screen. So something like along the lines of this computer belongs to Simple Tech, or this computer belongs to John Doe, whatever you'd like to put there. If you have an Apple Watch, this beautiful checkbox here, use your Apple Watch to unlock apps and your Mac. A great tool. You know, you could walk up to your Mac, you open up the lid. If it senses that your watch is on your wrist, it just unlocks. It doesn't require Touch ID or anything along those lines. I don't always wear my watch, so hence the reason why I don't have that on there. I just figured never took the time to do it. Now this bottom one is kind of a big one. This one comes into play a lot, especially if you're downloading applications from the internet. This is allow apps downloaded from. Now obviously you can see here you have the App Store as the first one. So anything from the App Store, you're going to be able to install and use just fine. The second one is App Store and identified developers. So identified developers are those developers that have taken the time to really register themselves with Apple. So when you download something from the internet, say Google Chrome as an example, right? Google Chrome would be an identified developer. They're going to take the time to be recognized by Apple as a safe application to be able to install on your computer. Now there are times when you might run into an application that you've downloaded that is not an identified developer. Now this feature then blocks that application from running the first time when you open it. And you'll get a pop-up window on your screen that says, hey, the Mac has blocked this, open the security preferences pane to allow. And what happens down here in this gray space that I'm kind of highlighting at the bottom is it says this application was installed and is trying to run, and then there'll be a button over here on the right side that says open anyway. So when you click open anyway, the application will run, and you're basically telling your computer that I am authorizing that computer to go ahead and run this application, even though it's not from an identified developer. This nice little tab, just, you know, in geek speak in Apple world, this is called Gatekeeper. It's to keep your computer safe from any malware you might accidentally download or might run on your machine or something along those lines. So it's definitely important to make sure that you keep Gatekeeper enabled with one of these two options, because then you know when applications are installed that maybe is not an identified application by Apple, that your computer is protected, and then you have to go in and actually take that extra step to authorize it. Now let's jump over to FileVault. So FileVault's pretty straightforward. It encrypts your data on your hard drive. So if you don't know what that means, basically, data is just a bunch of zeros and ones, and it locks all those down. So think about it in terms of a use case. So sometimes maybe you have a laptop, as an example. You take it into your car and you leave it sitting on the passenger seat of your car. I've done this a lot of times, and I've heard of this happening to others. You leave it on the seat of your car, somebody smashes the window to your passenger seat, grabs it, and takes off with your computer, right? Well, if you have FileVault turned on, that is encrypting the data on there, and unless they know the master password to unlock it, that data is encrypted and secure. And if that's not turned on, there are ways to reset the password to the computer to get access to the data. If I was the one stealing your computer sitting in the passenger seat of your car and you did not have this turned on, I could probably get access to your data within a few minutes. There are workarounds in the back end to be able to do that. But with FileVault turned on, my only option in order to use that machine or to get access to it and keep it as my own would be to erase the drive. And so that way, it's just an extra layer of security, so that way you know your data is safe in the event that your computer is stolen, as an example. And then, as you can see here, it will create a recovery key. It's a big, I can't remember if it's 16 or 20-digit hex key, like ABCDE dash GHIJK dash, and it goes on to, I think, for 5. So I want to say it might even be 25. But it's your recovery key. You're going to want to keep that. You're going to want to log that, keep it safe, put it in a safe. Obviously, don't write it down and leave it on a sticky note on your desk. That's the last thing that you want to do. But it is a recovery key. When it generates it and gives it to you, you're going to want to do that. In some cases, if you have set up iCloud on the computer already, one of the options when you do set this up is to allow your iCloud account to unlock the computer if necessary. So if you feel comfortable with that, go ahead and enable it, turn that on, and then you'd be able to actually unlock and reset your password using your iCloud account if that need arose. Firewall. So as you can see, by default, the firewall is turned off on a Mac. You can see mine is turned on, and it's set up, as you can see here, set up to prevent unauthorized applications, programs, and services from accepting incoming connections. Now, you have a lot of advanced options here. So let me get in here and unlock. So you can see here the way it works with mine turned on. I'm allowing incoming connections from Control Center, which that's part of the system, Dropbox, Loom, and Universal Control. You can add other applications if you turn this on and you're starting to see that certain applications are behaving as they should. You can add those applications into this list. And so you can see it kind of just populates here for us, and you can just choose and add them in. Or you can block all incoming connections. Automatically allow downloaded signed software to receive incoming connections. So this is another feature of that gatekeeper piece where we said from App Store or identified developers, right? Enable a stealth mode. Don't respond to or acknowledge attempts to this computer from network tests. So this is important, and I think the most important piece of the firewall, and the reason why I use it and have it turned on, is that it prevents your Mac from responding to what's called Internet Control Message Protocol probing and port scanning. So what that basically means is if you got a piece of malware on your machine, and let's say it's designed to scan open network ports on your computer and send that information somewhere, well, those open ports are how people get access. And so that's what it's looking for. And your computer will respond and say, yeah, this port's open. Well, I don't want mine to do that. I have a lot of monthly clients. They rely on me to make sure my systems are secure. I don't want, if something accidentally gets installed on my machine that finds an open port, to be sent to some malicious actor that wants access to my stuff in my system. And so that's the big reason why I use it. A lot of others don't use it. You know, if you're at home, sitting at home, you don't need to turn it on, you know, if you're not doing anything crazy with your machine. If you're running a small business, you got a lot of sensitive information on there, I do recommend turning it on as just an extra piece of security on your device. And that's all really that we're going to go over today. I mean, I can click on this advanced tab and you can see here, these are just a couple extra little options that we have. Is, you know, you can have your machine automatically log out after a certain amount of time of inactivity, and require an administrative password to access system-wide preferences. You know, little couple things that you could turn on there if you want to increase the security, enhance it just even a little bit more. Thank you for watching. Please click the subscribe button if you want to keep up to date with all of our future videos, and click the thumbs up to let us know if you like this video. We also want to hear from you, so use the comment section below if you have any questions on our video or have videos that you'd like to see us create. We'd love to make something pertinent to you, and thanks for watching.